Hey Jemmy, thanks for joining me for your November 2017 forecast for the month. I am shuffling the Ludi Lescaut Tarot that I got in the heart of the French Quarter. I wanted to let you know about a spooky special that I'm having, and I'm excited. I've never done something like this before, but if you purchase a 60 or a 90-minute reading with me in the month of October through the 4th of November, I will give you a free 10-minute reading on top of that reading, or you can use it at any time you'd like by the end of the year for a free 10-minute session. So I wanted to just give back a little bit to the YouTubers and to my own clients. I'm very grateful for your support, and I thought that would be a nice way to start. So let's get to the forecast. We have a full supermoon on the 4th of November at 11 degrees of Taurus. And we likey, because Gemini needs to tone down the mind a little bit. October is a very high anxiety month. Gemini isn't sleeping too much. At least, maybe Gemini rising might not be. I don't know. Check your sun and ascendant and moon, though, for these forecasts. The anxiety level is a lot, and the full moon appears in the very last sector for you. So there's a peace, an ease, an allowing the old to dissipate and make way for the new. And when a full moon is in the illuminating the 12th, it is a psychic placement. It's an intuitive, dreamlike placement, and you could receive a lot of guidance over that time, internally, through dreams, through prayer, through meditation. So it's just a spiritually beautiful aspect or position for the full moon. On the 5th, Mercury enters Sagittarius, and now we're talking. So Gemini, the 7th house of marriage and partnership is what November is about. And this energy has a lot to do with Saturn, because Saturn has been stationed in your 7th house for 3 years, and he'll be leaving on the 21st of December, this December, on the solstice of 2017. So before he's done with his return here, where he's been limiting and restricting you in your marriage sector, and really putting you in a vice to see how much you can take, before he's done, Mercury's going to come through and ignite this planet again. And you could be communicating with exes, with marriages, your marriage now, your marriage from before, your marriage from 3 years ago, his marriage, their marriage. It's like all things relationship. And Saturn is going, did you learn yet? Did you learn your lesson yet? Are you really going to do this again? And it's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's communicative. A lot of data is here, a lot of information can be found out effective the 5th of November. Mercury will also be retrograding here in December. On December 3rd through the 22nd, he's going to retrograde. I'm ahead of myself. I did this in a few forecasts, but I just want to keep it in topic a little bit. I don't want to go all over the place. When he retrogrades on the 3rd of December at 29 degrees of Sagittarius, back through 13 degrees of Sagittarius until the 22nd, here's where you're reviewing this marriage. And you have the opportunity to assess, to revise, review, rewrite, edit the foundation of your relationship, married or otherwise. It wouldn't be a lighthearted dating relationship, though. It is the 7th house of soulmates. So it's a very strong, intimate connection. Relationship, marriage, spouse. And your review takes place there. So your attention is in that sector. Even though you might not be all about it or present in it, it's coming up here because Mercury is the mind. And it's on your mind. Even if you're not in relationship, you're thinking about past relationships. And I say past because Mercury retrograding in here will bring in the past. And you'll hear from people out of the woodwork on this one. So keep your phone on, the mute button ready if you're not into answering. On the 7th of November, Venus enters Scorpio, conjunct Jupiter, And the Jupiter transit is really impacting your 6th house of health in a benevolent way. Positivity is Jupiter, and luck and generosity and prosperity in your work sector of 6th house and the health. So this is beautiful for healing. And when Venus comes through, talk about harmony and healing and balance and feeling restored. Gemini is going to feel rejuvenated from the 7th through the end of the month. And these two planets, when they are together, a lot of benevolence can happen in the sector of daily routine, your diet, your health routines. Watch weight gain. You have to tend to your health. You have to be on top of the cardio. Jupiter can expand the waistline in the 1st and the 6th house. So, Gemmy, you're high strung though. You've got a lot of nervous energy. You can work that off. That's why I mentioned cardio. Just walk. Just walk your ass off. You'll be fine. I think that you could also see some female pets come into the picture here. I mentioned that in another forecast where this applied, but you might put your relationships on pause a minute and just get a pet instead. They don't talk back so much. On the 11th, 11/11, circle that date because your 11th house is affected on 11/11. Hi, angel numbers for clairvoyance and guardian angels. On the 11th, we have an exact trine between Saturn at 25 degrees and Uranus at 25 degrees in Aries. Saturn in Sagittarius. So it's a fire trine between the 7th house of marriage and the 11th house of wishes and goals and friendships and who you are affiliated with. Who are you connected with? That's all 11th house. And the internet. There could be a surprise, here we go, thank you, a surprise communication online from someone from your past or from someone new, but it's on the 11th. There's a surprise here. This day has a shocking little bit of revelation to it. And it could even apply to your relationship that you're in. But for some of you, it's going to be someone coming out of the woodwork, an ex that contacts you on social media and wants to know if you're single, wants to know your availability. Hey. Hold on. Okay. He wants to know what you're up to, is what I'm getting, or she, but he was my first feeling on that. I feel like it's a day of spontaneity as well, 11/11, so keep that in mind on your calendar. And on the 18th, we have our new moon, 26 degrees of Scorpio. I just heard nice dance. I think I was being watched or something when I was doing my little quick move. The new moon in Scorpio at 26 degrees is in the health sector. I mean, come on. This is great for anyone who hasn't been feeling well, starting a new routine, committing to a health practice and not just throwing it out the window in a week. I think that there is longevity to whatever you commit to on the 18th. And in the health arena, in the routine, in the diet, how do you get to work? What are you doing within the structure of your day? There's a new way to implement this for Gemini and Gemini rising. So heed that full moon at the top of the month where you become very aware about what doesn't work for you anymore. And then apply what does in the new moon halfway across the wheel in the 6th house. There's a flow to this, and Gemini is getting the details of how they are working in order, how you are working for a living, and how you are maintaining your schedule of work and the schedule of your body. And this is beautiful because by the end of the Jupiter transit, you'll have everything under control in this area. Our sun enters Sag on the 21st, your polar opposite sign, the marriage sector, 7th house, soulmates. I just heard the song "Who Do You Love" by LL Cool J come through. Who do you love? love you for sure. Is that LL Cool J? Yeah, I think it is. If it's not, forgive me. I don't know why I'm even saying that. I just heard the song. So who do you love, Jemmy? I feel like, hold on. I feel like you have the opportunity to meet someone new as well as reconnect from the past because of the Mercury retrograde happening 10 days after the sun enters your soulmate sector in that sector. So the sun is conjunct Mercury and Saturn in your 7th house of soulmates. You're hearing from people from the past, the future, the present, the current. It's really all over the place. But you have options. Jemmy, to have options is better than to not. So let it work for you. You don't have to answer every call, like I said. Use your discretion. On the 29th and 30th, circle those days because Neptune will be direct on the 22nd and is beautifully aspecting Jupiter in the water signs of Pisces and Scorpio. And this brings a harmony on the 29th and 30th. I think it's going to be a global type of feeling where we are able to discern some of our politics a little bit better because it sounds like it's just a delusional mouthpiece. When I turn on the news, nothing even makes sense anymore. So this brings some clarity. Neptune direct is a little different energy. So we'll see how that could apply to people personally. It's so vast, but let me pull the cards. I've been shuffling the whole reading. I also want to tell you, if you haven't seen your Vimeo medium messages, they are available on Vimeo on demand, so check them out. And the song that you hear, the intro song and the outro song, it's the same song, it's available for download now. It is one of my own, and I wrote and recorded it in 2011. And I just thought I was receiving a lot of emails about it, and I thought I was inspired to do something about it. So take a listen to that if you're into it, and feel free to book with me for your spooky special. All right, Jemmy, your first card, 8 of Wands. Look at her. She's flying right up the stairs, but if you take a real close look, under those stairs, you see some skulls. Ludi Lescaut is very creative in this deck. The reason they're there is to suggest that the road that is paved has been paved over those who have failed. Wait, no, what is it? The road ahead is paved with the bones of those who didn't have enough faith in themselves. That's intense, and that's totally not my opinion. That's just coming through me, and it's a Ludi message too, the creator of this deck. But I just kind of reworded all of it, and it just came through. But you are moving ahead very quickly with the 8 of Wands, and you're not looking back. So you're not answering the calls from the past, Jemmy, I don't think. So let them call. Second card, Queen of Cups, water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Could be the person who's calling. It could be resembling your own intuition with the full moon in the 12th house. Intuitive, compassionate, open-hearted, nurturing. The Queen of Cups. She usually has a robust and a fair demeanor. Not fair in color, but I mean, well, it could be, but I mean fair as in, just. And for some of you, this is the sign that's applying to the 7th house. Your next card, hey, Emperor. Aries. Love this card. This is the ruler, the leader, not a follower. Ambition, control, and direction, and even aggression. Uranus is in Aries, and that's the 11th house of friendships. Some of you need to take control over your relationships, and maybe you're used to being led around because you know, maybe the significant other did a lot of that. Not anymore. Here's the Eight of Swords. So you have the Eight of Wands that starts it and the Eight of Swords. So the control. See how she's bound? And I just said not anymore. You could be tied up in a relationship that really isn't pleasing you any longer too, Gemmy. Some of you are. And that's why all this 7th house is here. What do you want? Who's going to work for you? You have too much control around you right now. I am going to pull another card for you. I don't like leaving on this. This is restrictive energy. And even though the Emperor is a Mars card, I feel like it has a tone of Saturn. Let me pull another card for you. The Fool. Fresh start. First card of the entire deck. You're ready. Full moon closure in the 12th prepares you for the first house. You're going around the wheel. The wheel, the 0, the nothingness. That's what we all are going through. The cycle. And it's a fresh start. So closure in the 12th. Start fresh. Even though you'll hear from the past, maybe it's not the best route for Gemmy right now. You have to use your own free will. These are very general readings. And like I said, if you want a very specific reading, an Astro Tarot reading, I'll get your chart out and we'll get down to it. So I'm hoping this was helpful for you. Let go of the controlling people in your life. No one's supposed to control anybody. Okay? That's an illusion, and you can do whatever you want in life. You have free will. Thanks, Gemmy. I love you, and I am so thankful for you. Thanks for subscribing to this channel and for your support and donations. I appreciate you so much, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.